This is my second game against Servas. We have switched sides, so now I'm playing the Corp and he's playing Noise. I'm playing a new deck, it's Cerebral Imaging. If you remember my video that I made on Bifrost Array, I said that one of the possible combos is the combo Bifrost Array with Efficiency Committee, so this is what I'm going to try now. And as I said, Cerebral Imaging is the best ID for that because you need to collect a lot of cards in your hand before you can see the 2 biotic labels you need to get the efficiency train going. So that is my goal of this game. Get the efficiency committee scored with 2 biotic labels and snowball from there with shipments from Sunset. This is my opening hand. 3 next eyes, very good. This is so important against Noise, who can be very aggressive early on. I want to make sure that I seal him out of my central servers efficiently and quickly. And next eyes are pretty cheap. They do die easily to parasites, but hey, if I can waste his parasites on my ice, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, because it does take some time to, if he keeps recovering his parasites, that means that he's not getting caches for money. So that's great. Here I deliberately allow him my hand because I cannot afford to res the next bronze. If I do, I'll be left with 1 credit in my credit pool. And 1 credit is pretty bad because I can click for 3 credits and then I will need to discard a card due to Cerebral Imaging's ability. So I let him through my hand twice and he sees the archive memories and the cerebral static. Ooh, that's not very good news. And he installs an imp which mills my Vitruvius, and because of the imp, I cannot allow him to my hand anymore. I cannot allow him to trash my cerebral static or my archive memories or my shipment from Tencent. There are so many precious combo pieces that I cannot afford to lose. He then finishes with a parasite on my next silver and I promptly replace it. So basically he spent a click and 2 credits to install a parasite. I spend a click and 3 credits to install the next silver. I lose out a bit, but what I really lose out on is the extra card mill caused by Noise's ID. That hurts a lot. So I'm definitely looking to stop it with Cerebral Static as soon as possible. You might be thinking, wow, this is such a good matchup for me. I purposely included Cerebral Static and now I get a matchup where Cerebral Static actually works against. I must be doing pretty good. Well, not really. Unfortunately, the very reason why I included Cerebral Static is because I know I'm going to have a very rough time against Noise. With this Cerebral Imaging deck, you want to draw your entire deck. And Noise basically says if you draw your entire deck, you lose the game. So Cerebral Static is a must. It's such a bad matchup against Noise that I am forced to spend influence just to counter it. There's only 1 copy of Cerebral Static in my deck, and I'm very happy I saw it in my opening hand. So yeah, I'm definitely looking to use it, but only once I've stabilized. And I haven't stabilized just yet. But things have changed because I found my celebrity gift. And this gives me more than enough money to start playing around. So I show him my entire hand, then I install an ice on archives so he cannot check archives. I will force him to pop Hades Shard if he wants to have a look at archives. The other thing is I could play Cerebral Static that turn, but I chose not to because there's a Vitruvius in my heap. If he pops Hades Shard, the Cerebral Static will immediately disappear off the board, so that's not worth it for me. So I give him 1 turn, he sets up the Wildside Aesops, and now I put my plan in action. I use Archive Memories to bring back my Vitruvius, and then I play Cerebral Static. So now his virus installs are useless until he scores next agenda. So I'll need to constantly keep him out of my central servers as long as I can keep HQ and R&D safe. He will not be able to play the game of a War of Attrition with me because I'm not milling any cards. And I can easily keep him out because in addition to my next ice, I still have an Eli in my hand, good to go, depending on what he does the next turn. He installs a clone chip and takes some credits because he needs some credits. I drew up and I saw another Eli. So 2 Elis, they will both go on centrals, no brainer there. And what I didn't actually notice, but this is something to always keep in mind, when you see a clone chip on the table and you have any 1 strength ice on the board, you should know that your 1 strength ice are going to go away next turn. He sacks the clone chip for Parasite and uses it on my next silver, so that disappears. He then runs R&D, I show him the Eli. Is he going to spend 2 clicks his entire turn to see 1 card? Nope. not worth it for him. He jacks out. And that was probably not the right choice, but there must be a reason why he's doing this. He wants to deja vu. He brings back 2 cards. I'm pretty sure he's bringing back a Parasite and 1 more card. I'm not sure what he's going to bring back. We'll see the chat log when it's done. Nerve Agent. Ooh. Yep, that is something to take note of. And he throws a Parasite on my next bronze. Alright. So that is the time that that should be a wake-up call for me, but I didn't heed it. That was time for me to ice up HQ even more, but I neglected to do so, thinking that Eli is sufficient. I mean, he has to spend his entire turn running through HQ if he wants to get the Nerve Agent off. It's just 1 card, so we'll see if he does so. Nerve Agent is so good against Cerebral Imaging, like you wouldn't believe. It is the hard counter to Cerebral Imaging, and yeah, I cannot afford to let him get any more than that. So I play my Ichi 2.0 on top of HQ, and because of that, I'm forced to discard 1 card, the IQ. I really want to see that IQ early so that I can res it cheaply, but that's not the case, so now it's pretty expensive. I won't res it. Oops, sorry, I didn't throw the Ichi there. I put the next bronze. Next bronze is cheaper and ends the run. Hard ends the run, so that's fine. In the meantime, he uses his second Deja Vu and parasites my next bronze down. So now things are looking dicey for me. He's going to get a successful run through next turn if I'm not careful. So what do? I bring back my Celebrity Gift with my second copy of Archive Memories. This is pretty important because I realized that if I wanted to defend against him, I needed the money. And so I was forced to use my Celebrity Gift, my Archive Memories, spend my entire turn just to get money back, so that I could install the Ichi next turn. I couldn't keep him out fast enough. He was drawing too many Parasites and Deja Vus. So he runs, and of course he gets through, spends his entire turn. It's not very efficient for him, but the moment he finds an agenda, as he does right here, he's well on his way to victory. Because that trashes my Cerebral Static, and now he can start recurring caches like no tomorrow. So with that, I'm forced to ice up HQ. There's no question about it. Otherwise, he'll just run there every turn and basically clear my entire hand, which is something I do not want to happen. Then I play the Cerebral Static, because I know that he has caches in his hand. I do not want him to activate his alternate win condition of decking me using Virus Mills. So he runs HQ, and thankfully for him, he runs on the first click because he rams straight into an Ichi 2.0. He loses 2 clicks, and this is a very important question. Which subroutine does he want me to fire? He wants the trace to fire, and he gets traced because he has no money. So he takes 1 brain damage, and I manage to hit his cache. Then he gets a tag, and with his last click, he can't even clear the tag. So at this point, I could have trashed his Hades Shard, I could have trashed his Aesops, but I needed the money more. I had 2 credits left, and my hand was too big. So in the end, I had to sack a couple of shipments from Sensen, unfortunately. I cannot afford to pitch agendas into my archives at this point, because 1 single run on archives and my Cerebral Static that I worked so hard for is down the drain. So I guess it's a bit of a misplay by me. I shouldn't have played the Cerebral Static so quickly, because that cost me a lot of credits which I couldn't afford. So now my hand is being constrained a lot, and as a result, I'm giving up lots of fast advance mechanisms with my shipment from Sensen. So indeed, he does run archives. Thankfully, I didn't pitch any agendas, because otherwise that would have eroded the Cerebral Static. But my hand is chock full of agendas, which is a worry. And I'm not that rich yet. I draw into my second Biotic Labor, which is exactly what I want to see. Now I have the power to fast advance and efficiency committee. All I need is the credits to do so. But he has other plans for me. Because I'm using Ichi 2 and not Ichi 1, a single David takes care of my big ice, and then he clicks through the Eli and accesses 3 cards. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He finds the Vitruvius, and the Cerebral Static was washes down the drain once again. Wasted. Very much wasted. That's the flaw with Viroid Ice. Eli doesn't hard end the run. It's not vulnerable to Parasite, but yeah, it doesn't stop him from getting agendas. And with Nerf Agent out, he easily snipes the Vitruvius and is halfway to a win. His next turn wasn't much better. He threw a medium out and threatens to run my R&D every turn, seeing more and more cards each time. I knew I was on a time bomb was ticking down on me there. So I immediately placed the pressure by activating my first efficiency committee. So at least we have that. And now he continues running R&D as expected. This is my worst nightmare. He has a loaded Nerf Agent and a loaded medium, and he's basically placing pressure on all three servers, and I cannot afford to keep up with him. I haven't been receiving enough credits, so I boosted up with that hedge fund, but that was all I could do. He continues to place severe pressure on me. He doesn't really care about losing clicks to Eli, because as long as he's getting more and more virus tokens, it's worth the effort. In the meantime, his cash mills NAPD into my heap. So there's an NAPD and a Bifrost array in there. At any time from now, if he pops the Hades Shard and has at least 4 credits in his pool, he wins the game. That is something I have to be kept worried about. And to make things worse, as you saw in the opening sequence, I only had 1 Jackson Howell in my deck, and he trashed it. He trashed it on his last medium run. It's in my heap. I looked through all 3 archive memories. I've already used them for trivial purposes. Use them for cerebral static, use it for getting a Vitruvius back. Oh man, that was so stupid. I really regret spending all those archive memories so liberally, because now I need archive recursion, but I have no archive recursion tools left. Or do I? The only way I can get stuff back from archives is Vitruvius, and overscored Vitruvius at that, which is almost impossible to pull off. But if I don't pull it off, I will lose the game, because I've used up 2 of my Baltic labels and 2 of my shipments have been trashed. So I cannot fast advance to victory anymore. That is a huge problem. I'm getting more and more credits now, but I realize that I can't win the game. I mean, eventually he's either going to get all my agenda points or he's going to deck me, because I don't have enough fast advance mechanisms to close out with 7 agenda points. All the fast advances in my heap, and I have no Jacksons to recur them. That is really very much a nightmare. He installs a Parasite on my Eli, and at this point, I play off the celebrity gift for more money, showing him lots of agendas in my hand. Hopefully, this will distract him from my R&D. I don't want him rummaging through my R&D and demolition running everything. Because I actually have a strategy in mind. The only way I'm going to have a shot of winning this game is by pulling my very last Biotic Labor from my deck. With the Biotic Labor, I can combine it with Efficiency Committee and Shipment from Sensen to score a 4 advance Vitruvius. That will allow me to pull 1 card from my archives, which will be Jackson Howard, and I can shuffle 3 important cards back into my stack to give me a shot. In the meantime, he continues to place pressure on R&D. Obviously, it comes up short because most of my agendas are now in my hand or in archives. I find the Biotic Labor and decide that I need more money. Money is more important at this point. So I show him the agendas once more. I will make him think twice about running through R&D that often. And I use my last click to install the IQ over R&D, because that's my last hard stopping and the run ice. I could place the Ichi there, but yeah, actually I should have placed the Ichi there, because Ichi versus IQ, both of them cost roughly the same to res, but Ichi is much more taxing. And he installs the David and runs through my R&D. Very wise choice, because IQ is now at 7 strength. I have to tax his David, so I res the IQ, and of course he pays 1 David token to get through. If that had been an Ichi, he would have had to use all his David tokens or had to spend some clicks, but I wasn't able to tax him there. Thankfully, he comes up short once again. There are virtually no agendas left in R&D, so I wasn't too worried, and I had a lot of money. So now it's time to pull off my big plan that I've been waiting so long for. I don't believe that this is happening, but I actually managed to pull this off. Overscore my Vitruvius, and use a token to retrieve Jackson Howard and install him to reshuffle 3 cards back in. Which 3 cards should I install? Reshuffle back. Nope, it doesn't matter because he pops Hades Shard and wins the game. As for timing rules, he respected that because he popped the Hades Shard right before I installed the Jackson Howard. It takes me a click to install Jackson Howard, which means that paid ability windows come before that. And yes, anyone with half a brain would pop the Hades Shard just as I'm about to install the Jackson Howard after seeing me retrieve Jackson with Vitruvius. So yes, what he did there was correct, and he rightfully won. This game was very unfortunate for me for several reasons. Besides the very fact that it's a very bad matchup because Imp and Nerve Agent are very disruptive to my combo-based strategy, I wasn't able to keep him out of my central servers long enough to make Cerebral Static worth it. The trouble is with Bioroid Ice, which are so easily clicked through, and because of that he's able to get successful runs off every turn, which eventually means that he will get his agendas some way or another. Another really unfortunate scenario was when he face-checked the Ichi 2.0 and took the tag. That turn I was left with 2 credits and about 5 or 6 cards in my hand. I couldn't afford to trash his Hades Shard. I certainly would have if I had the economy to do so, but that entailed losing basically my entire hand, which means that he'll just have to run through archives. The trace on Ichi 2.0 is one of its strong points, and it's one of the reasons why I included it in this deck, but unfortunately I wasn't able to fully leverage on that because I was so poor this game. And it goes back to the strong ice denial that Noise is able to threaten with. His recurring parasites were way too expensive for me to handle, and that really slowed me down very much. Even with a Cerebral Static out, I couldn't cope with his speed. So many deja vus, so many parasites. At the end of the day, even though I packed a hard counter in the form of Cerebral Static, I wasn't able to compete against this very hard matchup in Noise. And with Noise being so prevalent now, it's no surprise that Cerebral Imaging has taken a dip in popularity. Oh well, so much for trying a new ID. It's just not its time to shine yet. Thanks for watching and happy net running. Goodbye.